There's your list. So Smids and Uvank from Belgium, Fink and Meeman, Germany, Leva and Nespaza from Argentina, Karuna and Bean, Australia, Kazukawa and Ono from Japan, Farnsworth and Burke. Prokets and Fednya from Ukraine. One of the players now, Short and Morgan, hasn't gone well necessarily, or as well as they'd hoped this weekend due to a bit of illness, but game on today. Moses and Gorba, we haven't seen. We did have a Hungarian crew second at the Europeans earlier this year. Smith and Voigt have to be watched out for after yesterday's K1. Klima and Kunk from Slovakia, Troutman and Lanzon from Argentina, Sindo and Chovanek from Czech, Alonso and Garcia from Spain, next to their teammates Hernandez and Ranero. Budai and Lanksey, they're probably your favourite. They line up next to Stallard and Cole. Jacob and Jacob from Australia. Candela and Zugner, again, Candela's been struggling with illness and fever this weekend. It hasn't been his weekend. Velaka and Cruz from Portugal in 181. There's still more to come. Durand and Touchot from France. Thang and Oi from Singapore. Hunter and Hunter from Canada. And from Singapore again, Tan and Putera. A lot of boats and a lot of people, and getting K2s around that first sharp right into the island is going to be an interesting one. And who better to try that out than a bunch of junior men. The red boat there just lining up is Short and Morgan. There's Candela taking a deep breath in the blue shirt. He's had a torrid time this weekend and it's harsh to watch that. Been joined by Bridget now, who's just coming in late as ever, but that's because she's been looking after her boys who performed so well yesterday, and they line up next to the Hungarians in the middle of the field.
Yeah, thank you, Ivan. We're in for an exciting last day of the ICF Canoe Marathon World Championships.
Boys lining up. They've done this line-up really well, haven't they? They've sent people around in number order pretty much, and line up. There's none of the confusion of boats turning in front of other boats. It's
that announcer with the loudspeaker, he's been quite strict.
But it is quite harsh if you're the first one in. You have to sit there for an awfully long time, don't you, while other people
you definitely
faff
do.
about.
But I think in some of the races before the Masters that we saw quite a few swimmers. So when you're trying to back up between two boats, you almost have more nerves, I think. Whereas now you're coming in an orderly fashion. So even if you're waiting longer, you know that your tail is ready and somebody's holding it.
Yeah. So our crews, Bridget, line up one either side of the Hungarians in 168, 169 and 170.
So that's exciting.
And we're both a little bit edgy here in commentary with personal interest in this one. They're ready to go. Away they go. The Hungarians between us made a good start with Gorba. We're one either side of that, Bridget. This is music to our ears.
It definitely is.
Great Britain in the red boat, South African in the grey boat, just falling back a little. Those Hungarians are fast, man.
Yeah.
They are off and away.
Yeah, that's a proper start from them.
That is very hard for the others to match.
There's also boats on the far side, putting in a really good effort to get right up there. Yeah, we have a swimmer, not so sure yet who that is. There's a regrouping of boats here.
Gorba and Moses, they lead at the moment. 5 boats in that front group. It's super fast, so that's Hungary, France, Hungary, Canada and Italy, then Czech. Our boat's down in 8th and 9th at the moment, but still in contact. We're both side by side. So France in the red boat, Hungary 1 and 2 leading in white boats. Canada on the far side in red shirts, Czech this side in the colourful boat. Grey boat is South Africa's Voigt, and the red boat is Morgan and sorry, excuse me, Morgan and Short. Morgan and Short on the right-hand side of the picture, as we see, just coming round the Czech to get to the side of Hungary, I think, taking on the Czechs, and they are going to make that. So 2 washes out, but side by side with the heavyweight Hungarians, and that will be some wave.
Yeah,
France also looking good, sorry.
This is a big start, and I think it was that French boat on the red one that was having as good a start as the Hungarians.
Yeah. Candela also in the V-wash. The Italians will be pleased to see that, I am sure, because he's had such a rough weekend. So Short, Morgan on the outside as the two Hungarians come around this turn. French on the inside. It's going to be super tight. The Canadians struggling there. Portuguese, South Africans. That's your crew with Voigt in. And Spain just bringing up the outside of that. It's going to be super tight.
Yeah, this is a big start with these K2s. Some boats having to go wide. Yeah, some boats obviously being pushed on the inside, some having to go wide. But we knew this was going to happen with K2 boats. It was always going to be tough. But with the calmer water, I'm
Ukraine
sure
gone in.
Yeah, that's boat number 167. So that's Propitz and Vedinye from Ukraine.
Through we go. It's Hungary, Great Britain. That's the group at the moment. Candela trying to get into the V. I think he's going to make it. And well, no, he's not going in the V because it's scrunched up to 2 at a time. So Hungary, Great Britain, Italy, South Africa, France, and Czech in that order. Great overhead shot. This top turn again is going to be critical in the K2s. They struggled around that bend. It's going to be interesting in the seniors later today.
They definitely did. I almost feel like they have to come in with like a slightly different tactic and go slightly wider. But who goes wider when you're coming into a sharp corner?
Because if you do come in wider, some idiot's going to come in narrow.
On the inside.
Come straight through the side of your boat.
Exactly. So it is tough, but we'll see. They'll navigate their way around these turns and learn what is the best option. Interesting to see the K2s are not crossing over to the other side of the river like we saw yesterday. Perhaps on the second lap they will start to do that.
And it is Hungarians leading as well, so they're taking the route they want for sure. So Short moves up to the left-hand side of the lead Hungarians. Candela in the V now. This group's getting stretched out. It could be down to 5 already. The 5th one is the South African crew.
They're doing an interval now, which is probably because they're sitting in an uncomfortable position. So
Short would normally let them in, but not before that left-hand turn, I think.
Definitely not. And Short will be focusing on the Hungarian boat ahead of him.
Yeah.
He's making sure that his boat is in a favourable
and
position.
they know that these Hungarians at the Euros went, the 2 of them. So he knows to cover them at all costs. So we're down to 5. Hungary, Great Britain, Italy and South Africa.
This turn has always affected the group in previous races.
Here we go around the turn. It's your guys are in a spot of bother here, aren't they? They're going to come in at the wrong angle.
But they'll still be within contact.
They're okay. They're going to be okay.
They'll just need an interval out of this.
See, that's where they go wide. Coming in sharp,
pushes you
sharp
wide.
pushes you out wide. We're down to 3 at the moment. Your guys, I'm sure the South Africans will catch up. But for now, it's 3. Hungary, Great Britain, Italy working hard at the back there. Actually, South Africa working hard as well, aren't they? That's full on. But the split between these 5 and the rest of the field is significant, which goes back to France, Spain, Czech Republic, South Africa too, and Portugal. Canadians now back off the pace just a little. Well, that turn is hard in K2.
In a K2 it definitely is. Even if it did seem like this front boat went slightly wide, they're all getting pushed out.
Way out.
Yeah. This is the sharp end of the race, and this is where the paddlers have to push to get the front group. This is the important part, and if you lose contact now...
Well, this is where the gap's being made, isn't it? I think.
100%. There's already a gap. We can't see too much space. We can't see the second group yet.
What I love here is, he's not either of ours, but Candela is in this group, and he's had such a rough weekend, and now he's back in the game. Same for Short, who had a rough day yesterday with illness in his race, and it's good to see them both having a good one.
Yeah, yes, I agree. That move from Short, though, was really good for the South Africans and not so good for Candela from Italia, Italian boats. Candela's paddling with Zugner.
Short has to fall back again. 2x2 round that sharp right before they join. Oh, Candela is a little bit, he's struggling there. I don't know if they hit the wall or the bottom of the river, but all of a sudden their directional control was gone.
There are one or two sticks and short branches which can catch you a little bit unawares.
So that, are they still with the group?
They are, but it doesn't
Not
look
really.
like they're in such contact. So
No,
something,
something happened just as we lost shot of them there.
yeah, it pushed their nose a little bit, but perhaps they'll recover. We'll see. The group does seem like it slowed slightly, but probably not for long.
So Hungary, Great Britain and South Africa. I get the feeling Italy aren't going to be there for much longer.
Yeah, this will be interesting actually, because even their urgency seems to have slowed slightly. And they've just lost a bit of contact.
Yeah, and there's nowhere for them when they get back there. The guy in the back seems to be rushing a little bit, Candela not so much, and it's a bit ragged in the Italian boat at the moment. I don't think the Hungarians are going to let Short up the inside there, so it's going to be Short. He's being very nice to your boys.
Yes. They're in a great spot at the moment for now.
I don't think that can last, can it?
This is the first time I think that we've seen such a big group of K2s coming around the corner.
So this looking at now is, oh no, it's not, we're back to the front again. Candela's still in contact.
Yeah.
So Short dropped back behind the Hungarians, kind of could see that coming. And looking good for all 5 of these crews at the moment. Candeli just worry for a little bit. Seems to be struggling.
He's a great marathon paddler. He knows how to paddle, so perhaps he was just, something did go wrong and they needed to recover, and they knew that they'd be able to come up afterwards. This is an interesting
Group changes
move now
shape, new leader, Short's coming out to their left. A sense of urgency about this.
It's interesting
and
that
rightly so. This is high pace. This is high pace.
Yeah, the Hungarians are holding them off.
The Hungarians trying to get away here, I think. They love working together. The South Africans should get back into that V, but this could be the end of boat 5.
Yeah, there was definitely some pressure put on that group there by the Hungarians.
That was quite intense for a short period there. Charlotte Creamer on the bike, on the scooter there. Scooter queen of Gyor.
Big supporter.
Exciting times.
This will be group 2.
Oh, that confused me because it's a
Led
red and
by
white
France.
boat. I thought, what's happening?
That's okay. Got your back.
Luckily, you're on the case.
That's it. That's the French boat leading with the South African second crew on the left. Paddling into the V is Spain.
So a lot more cheerful in the Great Britain camp than it was this time yesterday. 2 Hungarian crews, we know they're capable of going alone, but they're big boys. That's some wave, isn't it?
Yeah, they definitely are. They're sitting quite high above their boat. They're probably really tall, long torsos, broad shoulders. The Hungarians produce them like that.
If you're going to sit on a wave, you might as well sit on that one. I reckon the combined weight of the boys in the British boat might equal one of those.
You can hear the crowd, not sure, but the Hungarians are definitely out in full force this morning with 2 Hungarian junior K2 on the water with a South African and a British boat coming through what will just now be the portage area, but on their first lap they just paddle past. So these are your leaders from Hungary.
Now the Euros, the Hungarians were adequate, but not great at their portaging, the ins and outs.
So that'll be interesting to see then in the latter part of the race.
Yeah.
This is the second group coming through with the South Africans, Stallard and Cole taking up the lead from the French boat.
Czechs look to be struggling at the back of that group as well. It's not easy going upstream. The Hungarians are leaving room for their mate. This will be interesting because the inside Hungarians lead and South Africans will go up behind them. Will Short and Morgan have to duck back or they stay on the big guys? No, they're going to drop back. So, are they? No, they're not, are they? That wave on that Hungarian boat must be monstrous. So they're choosing to stay where they are. for now, on the outside of the group.
And perhaps they're wanting to be on that inside around the turn, not to be pushed off the back. We know what happens around the turn with these K2s is your boats end up going slightly wider than what we anticipate them to.
They'll be relieved to do that downstream leg where you can have a nice organised group of 4 and a V-wash. That second group's moving well with the South Africans.
Yeah, they've got a bit of urgency at the moment. They've probably seen that the Italian boat.
Here we go,
just
round
ahead.
the turn, the big guns take it up. It's going to be tight between, it's uncomfortably tight.
Yeah.
Oh, we made it round, we're okay. Everyone's around comfortably.
So I think that was Short's plan with Walgren, that he didn't want to be pushed out.
I was just worried the angle they were coming in looked like we might interfere with the South African boat. But away they go. That's fairly meaningful.
This is an interval.
Jeez.
This is an early interval. They're showing some intent here. So that's Hungarian of boats of Lansi and Budai in the lead.
That's serious.
And Moses and Gorba we can see in shot.
The other boat's hanging in with them though.
Yeah.
They've just got to survive this and then it will settle a little. I imagine South Africa, yeah, here we go. There, so it's settled down. The other crew will take over. We'll drop into the back, hopefully. Come on. No, the other crew aren't going to take over, but
the leading boats, I think,
more
just
normal
slowed.
formation now.
Yeah. It looks like the South African boats are also slowing down their stroke rate, so Vogt and Smith are feeling a little bit more comfortable in that V-wash.
Candela coming in from a bizarre angle to join that second group. And I think he might have another rough day by the look of it.
That second group is not too far back,
No,
and it'll be
not.
interesting to see who pushes the pace from that group to try and see if they can maybe close the gap between the front group and themselves. I love the excitement on the bank at the moment. It's a great atmosphere. There seems to be like a little bit of a bump in the water today.
Yeah, I think it's just the other boats going up, isn't it? And the bounce, rebound. Oh, what happened there? Was that just getting round the buoy?
Yeah, it might have just been almost touching that big red buoy. So we know that those are the finish line buoys. The paddlers are not allowed to go between them on any of the other laps. So this is Group 2. The leaders are the South African boat of Stallard and Cole. And inside is Spain.
Yeah, they also cut it quite tight for that. Checks off the back of that group, just trying to find something.
Yeah, they're possibly
Taking
going
a bit
on
of a
second wash.
going on a excursion or something.
They were probably just off the back, and now they're trying to find
South
that
Africans
second
just put
wash.
their paddles down in that second group, and I don't think there's anyone quite as motivated as them in there.
No, it'll be interesting to see if anyone does find that motivation. We would have thought that Candela might, but we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think he's the full ticket this weekend.
This will allow the boat from Czechia to try and
rejoin for sure.
Yeah, they'll get contact again with this group. It looks like the Spanish have taken the lead there. Another change.
There's a change in here.
In the front group.
I'm not sure what Short's motivation here is. He should have seen that earlier.
Yeah, he would need
into
to
the
go.
V. And off we go.
Definitely doesn't need to work more than
nicely in the end.
Yeah. I guess sometimes in marathon you think you're anticipating what's going to happen, and then all of a sudden
something different happens.
It doesn't work out, and you have to change your mind according to what the group does.
So it looks like Spain taking the lead in that second group at the moment. And that...
These crews in the front are working so well together. If you see all of them and the way that their paddles go into the water, they definitely, all of them look like one.
Yeah.
Like they really are paddling really well. So there's a reason they're out in the front today in the K2 Junior Men's race. 21.8 kilometers. With a big chasing group of, is that 6 boats?
6 boats, yeah. So you're looking at Alonso and Pando and Garcia rather of Spain, Candela and Zugner of Italy, Raniero and Hernandez also from Spain, Duron and Touchot from France, and Stallard and Cole from South Africa. The Czechs, who are struggling at that group, are Chovanec and Sindel. Up goes the pace again. When it goes up pretty intensely, doesn't it?
No, it definitely does.
It's like a battle to see who's going to be leading of those two. I think might not be any love lost between those two Hungarian crews.
They're definitely
You can
working
see how
hard.
hard it is to get K2s around that corner.
Yeah, it's tricky.
The Czechs are actually up on the back deck of the South African boat there. They'd come in at a different angle.
But there was no way they could even
yeah.
change that. These Hungarian changing of leads are pretty intense, and we'd like to hope that the South African and British boat keep answering back, but eventually they're going to make another move.
More swimmers.
Yeah.
That's Slovakia, is it?
Yeah, it looks like
Slovakian boat. 171 is Kunk and Klima.
No, that's a bit unfortunate for them at this stage of the race, but they are close to the side where they can get back in, hopefully, and recover. Yeah, the pace has slowed again a little bit. It's like the interval in certain places, and you have to look sharp to keep your boat there.
The big guys want to be leading on all the sort of important parts, if you like. They wanted to come around that bottom turn. They want to go around the top turn first, and they do seem to have the sprint speed to dictate what happens there. So that's Lanksy and Budai leading this from Gorba and Moses, both Hungarians.
Yeah, so with 4 boats on the front, this first portage is also going to be quite an important one for them to show who's the better boat portaging, because we've seen that in the past, that the boats that end up taking out first and consistently first are the ones that end up being successful. So the first portage, once they come around.
Short and Morgan seem much happier on the side wash than the half V there, which sits well for the South Africans. They'll open up that V for the South Africans as they have. Whoa, what's happened here?
Oh, I'm not so sure there. That looks like we've lost the boat.
I don't think we have lost the boat. I think they're just out of shot.
I hope so.
There they are.
Yeah. That was a little bit confusing. Yeah, because in this part of the race, it is the calmest part of the water. So we've only really seen boats being dropped at this corner. Now, this is where most boats actually regroup and paddle a little bit more comfortably. Here's where the urgency will come in around this corner to make sure your nose is in the right place. They all look like they're in a good place.
South Africans have tapped the back of the Hungarian boat. They can't get round.
But this is tough.
Great Britain will do well out of this because we should come out second.
No, it's almost slowed the group down.
That was just an error on the South African part. They just pushed a little bit too far forward, overlapped with the Hungarians, and stopped them getting around the turn. I don't think that will happen again. That's a bit of a learning point, and it was an error of judgment.
But for the K2s around this turn, it's almost
going to
like
be brutal.
It's going to be so hard. It's almost like they needed like turning buoys around you to force the turn to be wider. Because
what's going on in that South African boat? They're fidgeting, they're shifting. They all right?
Yeah, hopefully.
They just look uncomfortable in their seats there. They're jiggling around all over the shop.
Yesterday they said they were sitting quite straight, but you never know what's happened in the race.
No,
there is something.
Yeah, something's going on, isn't it?
Hopefully that won't affect them. Perhaps after the first portage.
Yeah, they can resettle. That's what you've got to hope for. Yeah, we've all been in that K2 with Aline, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it's not fun. You can see there the South Africans are sitting slightly closer to the red boat and the white boat, and that's because the red boat is sitting further back on the wave than the Hungarian white boat. So the wave sits nicer, closer to the person further back.
Yeah, so you choose the spot where it feels a bit more comfortable.
Yeah. They're still jiggling about in there.
Yeah, they are. I hope the portage kind of throws them out and fixes everything at this stage. We hope for their sake. But often, if that does happen, you know, we just work with how the boat feels.
You do. I raced so many races with Aline, and you just deal with it in the end.
And you've still done well, and you just kind of go, okay, this is how it's going to be.
Canadians look like they're in trouble there with directional control.
Yeah.
Maybe their rudders.
That wash also created a rebound on the concrete wall, which could have just thrown them if their rudder was a bit too sensitive. A couple of the boats coming through now to complete their second island lap. These are your leaders.
State of play at the front.
Borba and Moses from Hungary.
All looking pretty controlled. The only question we've got at the moment is the comfort in the grey boat at the back there. Everyone else looks pretty tidy.
It's probably a good thing then that they're in the V-wash at the moment, because when you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable, you actually want to be sitting in that
like
position.
The chase group might be down to 3 as well, which is Stallard and Cole, Alonso and Garcia, Raniero and Hernandez.
That'll be better for that chase group.
It will.
And we actually saw around the turn that having a group of 6, the South African boat put in a big interval in the background when we had the screen, and they turned sharper and they put in an interval. So I think that's what broke the group up.
Come on, come on, come on.
This isn't good to see because the Hungarians answer back.
There's a little gap.
These Hungarians are...
Great Britain up to the job. South Africa just got balked a bit by the British crew on the turn.
But they need to just keep that interval and a few more strokes and their nose
they will be
there.
fine. They'll be fine.
They're on the inside, so they're in a good spot. But interesting now that the British boats are swapping sides, which forces the South African boat
to do another length of catching up.
Or not sure what the British boat is doing there.
We've just ducked behind the leader, I think. I don't think it was a...
So that's obviously
malicious move.
No, they're planning now to be on that side for the portage. So that's their thought process at this stage, making the South Africans work a bit harder. But at this stage of the race, every boat is looking after themselves and their thought process about where they want to be on the first takeout, where they are favourable.
So tension building for the portage. If the Hungarians get out and leave first, they will run for it for sure. So they need to be covered very, very well by those other 2 crews.
So this could be a break in the race, but there could also be a reformation of 4 boats. But this first portage is going to be the big decider.
It's hard to see what's going on in that second group. It's a bit, can't judge the distances, but could be still 4
it looks
or
like
3
4.
with 1 behind.
Yeah, 3 or 4 at this stage.
So Hungary, Great Britain.
Yeah, that's a
and there you have South Africa, Spain and Czech. South Africans squeeze into that right-hand bank, which they've got every right to do. Spaniards have to go back and round. And here we go. Here we go.
So it's about 100 meters until the first portage.
Nervous times for all 4 crews and all 3 countries.
This is the first portage where they get to show, almost want to say, a little bit of bragging rights to see who's where. Show some dominance.
South Africans in this second group are definitely...
They're paddling well.
Yeah.
They're not worried about who's doing what in the group behind them.
No.
They're on a mission.
They're stringing their group out.
Yeah. And
here we go.
Good to see.
Round. Oh no. What? Yeah. There. I thought we were going to miss the portage there. I thought we had to get out by the building.
So a little bit of a fumble from the leading Hungarian
We've got
boat.
all sorts of trouble with the Great British boat. There's some sort of clothing issue. Alex Morgan's vest was tied around his seat or something, and he couldn't get out the boat.
His vest is quite long though.
He's worn his dad's vest.
Looks a bit like a dress. Interesting little put-in-ya, which is not going to be so smooth for the second Hungarian
The Hungarians
boat.
are in all sorts of trouble back there. I'm not sure. Yeah, their rudder is in the water.
They put in at a bit of an angle, which
well done to Sean Morgan there, because that was a disastrous get out.
But for Budai and Lanchi from Hungary, they've seen this gap and they're not going to slow down. They're not even looking around to see what's happening behind them.
If we can make contact with them now, South Africa and Great Britain can get back with them, then there's everything to play for.
The second group, this is South Africa's second boat putting in with Spain, so this could be 2 boats clear. With the second Spanish boat, so that's 3 boats from the second group.
That is a 3-boat group now. The Czechs aren't there, are they? Don't tell me they're shifting as well.
Sometimes after a portage, you need to do a bit of a shift.
You sit on something uncomfortably.
Or sitting on your shirt. Well, that's what Morgan was doing.
Oh, my word. Morgan.
Looks like he's wearing a dress.
Your fashion choices were poor today. It looks like we're back with it. And this could be 3. I'm not sure that second Hungarian boat got in quick enough to be close to this.
But we know that they're really strong paddlers. So at this stage, until we see them in shots, it'll be hard to say. Argentina, boat 163, Levi and Esparza out.
Cheer up for Argentina.
Oh, that was very stressful, I must admit. I saw when I saw him like fall wrong badly out the boat, I thought, oh my God, no.
And you can't exactly tuck your shirt in now, so that's how it's going to be.
So we're all back, well, not all back together, it's 3 boats back together. Shorts got pushed out super wide on that turn.
Hungarian boats making a little bit of a gap there. The following crews need to put in an interval, but they'll have a wash that they can climb.
They can run to the back of the white boat first. That'll be Short's first job, then up to the side. And we're down to 3 boats in the lead group as it stands.
The Hungarians are putting the pace in, though. You can see the way they're paddling. They're smooth. They've had a little glance to see what's happening. So they might interval.
Short and Morgan at the
on the
European sprints were mid-pack in the 1,000-metre final.
So they've got some tune of speed.
They're good. They are a very, very good crew.
The South Africans need to make contact here with the back of the boat, because this is the part where the groups reform nicely. It does look like they've chosen to go on the tail wash before moving around.
Hungarians asking the British to come through. Hungarians do not want their mates back in this race.
They probably know that they're a strong crew.
Yeah.
There was a bit of an unfortunate put-in with the angle of their boat. So that's the second boat from Hungary, Moses and Gorba.
Down to 2 in the chase pack. Behind that, they're arguing over who's going to take the lead and nobody wants it. So really, there's only 5 boats left in this race now. Czechs have finally picked up their paddles and decided to do something. Down to 3.
Hungary, Great Britain and South Africa.
From Italy in the first
Buddha and Lanchi from Hungary have slowed the pace a little bit now that they know that the other 2 crews
Morgan is going to have to reorganise his dress for that next portage.
He is sitting on his long shirt, so there's no way of changing it.
He must have got caught on his seat, because when he stood up, he couldn't get out.
He might have to get out and just hold his shirt next time, hopefully, just to double check.
From Belgium.
It created some tension, definitely.
Did it ever?
I noticed, Ivan, you were almost off your chair to help him, flying over the...
Jeez.
I love it.
You can't help but get emotionally involved, can you? It's.
That's what racing is at this level.
We're sitting pretty here, aren't we? We've both got a boat in this shot.
Yeah, so this is exciting.
And it's great.
Makes commentary a lot more fun. But all the races this weekend have been pretty exciting, even with some breakaways. There's always been a race somewhere at the back.
So Hungary lead. Hungary are desperate for someone else to take it over. South Africans don't want to do it. And I think that's probably because they're just a little bit uncomfortable.
Also, the South Africans have always been stretched to be on the back all the time. So for them to pull now is not the smartest idea, but they will also slow down the pace if they want to.
But they also know, all these boats know, if they... Well, the Hungarians trying to hold them off then?
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. But interesting to look at the back. The Hungarian second crew is slowing, and the South African second crew is actually putting in some intervals. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on the chasing group and who reforms and who doesn't.
Normally, maybe I worry too much because of yesterday's race. But normally, Short and Morgan would have taken that and run with it.
But also with Morgan's shirt getting stuck, they weren't expecting that. So on the second portage, I'm quite sure that all these crews will have settled. The first portage is always tense. And then when you see who's dominant and who runs where and who does what. And
I didn't even see your boat. What was your boat like on the portage?
They were pretty smooth. Even if I do sound biased.
That could be the Canadians. They didn't look happy when we saw them last. And
dear,
I'm not sure we need to see that.
No, shame, that doesn't look so good. So maybe it wasn't their boat.
We could probably move on from that.
So this is a shot. You can see the second Hungarian boat on the left,
Yeah, they're going to be caught, aren't they?
and then the chasers of South Africa and Spain just in shot behind. This turn is going to become a little bit better now for 3
Well,
boats.
they should just decide to take it wider on the entrance to that turn.
There's no reason to cut it, but with 3 boats, it does make it easier, but they're cutting it sharp, which is going to push their boats wide again. But sometimes just the person at the back can dig their paddle in a little bit more and help that turn. But the urgency around this turn is
Short
not as
and
big.
Morgan are shouting to somebody on the bank. They want
Somebody to cut
I
his
don't know.
shirt.
Even the blue stripes nearly down by the seat now.
Yeah, I think he took the wrong shirt this morning.
He's taking his mum's dress instead of.
Anyway,
You
you'll
can see
find out.
it is tied to the back of the seat. It's pulling the back of that stripe down, isn't it?
You'll find out about the stories after
my
this
Lord.
race. But at this stage, hopefully it doesn't affect him in any of the other portages. It's the South African crew of Smith and Bach taking up the lead from Buddha and Lanchi from Hungary, and Short and Morgan
and these
from
three,
Great Britain.
I think that the gap to those front. This is a group with a lack of motivation in it. That's.
The Czechia crew, so that is Jovanek and Sindel.
With Raniero and Martinez of Spain.
They were the ones who got pushed off the big chasing group of 6, just at that top turn. Now they've changed the group again.
This looks happy. That's how their boat normally looks when it's going along. They're shifting along right there.
Yeah. All 3 of these crews looking comfortable at the moment.
Short and Morgan taking their first turn at the front end of this race. They haven't really been troubled so far beyond the portage incident.
This is another chasing group of 2 Argentinian boats and Germany.
It's Fink and Meerman from Germany. Argentinian names, try and give you a name check on. It's Lanzon and Troutman, and I can't see the other one on the list. One's GPS is clearly not working. Hungarians, this will be interesting because those Hungarians are heavy, and getting around this turn as the 3rd boat will be quite tough for them, I think.
It does look like they're going slightly wider than before, but it will be interesting because now the Hungarian boat is on the outside. South Africans needing to make sure they don't make contact.
Quite a well-managed turn, that one. Still wide though, isn't it? It's very, they're obviously, it's quite hard to get those boats around there. Morgan faffing about with his shirt now, trying to get it organised.
Making sure that it's not.
Please don't let that be the
Around his
deciding
shirt.
factor today. Great British team needs a new tailor.
So this will be the chasing group behind the second Hungarian crew of Spain and South Africa. South African crew of Stellard and Cole, and the Spanish crew of Alonso and Garcia. They're now on their own, and they'll be lying in 5th and 6th.
The gap back to those, that second group, is not far still. It's
Possibly they'll start to work together with a little bit more urgency
60,
after,
70 metres.
Yeah, after the island. I think now they're just trying to get their heads around what has just happened, and it's been a big group of 6. They've broken away. They're finding their breath again. And then I think once they see the gap between the Hungarian crew on their own, hopefully they'll start working together.
Actually, my leaderboard's a day late and $1 short. I've still got 2 Hungarians in. I think
the GPS settings are not quite picking up the right
maybe
thing.
need a refresh. Try again.
But currently, these are your leaders being led by Hungary, Great Britain, and South Africa.
This looks better.
The Hungarian boats is Lanchi and Buddha, Great Britain, Short and Morgan, and South Africa, Smith and Gyor.
Chovanec and Sindel in shot there, along with Raniero, no, with Alonso and Garcia. That's the chase Hungarians. They haven't given it up yet, but it's a long, hard chase. And their teammates don't want them back, that's for sure.
Yeah, you could see that. We almost thought maybe they would work together, but this is a world championship level, and as much as you sometimes think countries work together, they don't always choose to. They worry about themselves.
More shouting to the people on the bank there from Morgan. He's trying to... I don't know what you think. Yeah, no one can help, can they?
You can't put his shirt quickly in a tumble dry and shrink it, so it is what it is for now, and all that he can do is when he gets out, make sure he picks it up.
Yeah, maybe you rip it,
yeah, and
then at least it's loose.
End up with no shirt.
Yeah, that Hungarian crew aren't going to make it, are they?
Their urgency seems to have changed slightly. They're still powerful. You can see the way they're paddling. They're a good crew. But we always know that when you fall off the front group, your speed slows a little bit, even though you are still strong. So this is
Alonso Garcia, the two South Africans.
Stallard and Cole. They'll be able to see this gap now as they come around the last turn. So for the two boats chasing the second Hungarian boat, they possibly will start to have a little bit more urgency sharing the pools coming into the second portage.
So I got a message from the, it's me on the bank, says Charlie Smith, and they're fine.
That's good to know. Ask him if he's telling them how to portage with a dress.
With a dress on. Is there an etiquette for getting out? You know when supermodels get out of the sports cars, you have to do the two legs at once, so there's no impropriety. Do you think there's a method here for getting out of a boat with a dress on?
I think there's no way of doing it elegantly at this stage. I think he needs to be a little bit more non-elegant and grab his shirt and rip it up and let Smith actually pull the boat forward, and then he can take the back.
So we're getting all sorts of advice now from the people on text message. So the advice to Morgan is to tuck it in at the next portage.
We're getting all sorts of tips.
We are arriving at the portage first, so we've got tuck-in time, which is nice.
So there's a little bit of a replay video that I was sent. Apparently he dropped his paddle on the first portage.
Okay.
But he was pulling his shirt off.
And then he kicked his own paddle out of his hand.
So he was pulling his shirt up, and then he dropped his paddle. So.
Jesus, we don't need this. So Great Britain, Hungary and South Africa, the lead three in the boys K2, making their way towards portage number 2. Let's hope it's an incident-free portage.
So less than 50 meters to go, and this is going to be portage number 2 of the K2 Junior Boys race. Great Britain leading from Hungary, from South Africa.
Here we go. Come on, boys. The dress is looking okay so far.
All smooth out. South Africans coming in on the inside. Hungarians going into the feeding zone. They never started with juice, so this is a critical part of their race to get a drink.
Running really well on the inside there.
So Great Britain will be in first. Smith and Morgan, South Africa going in on the inside.
Gently boys, we had a little bit of iffiness there. Hungarians deciding to run long, but they're going to run out of space.
Yeah, this is actually a little bit tricky for all the crews, but they're all getting stuck. So we think they'll regroup, but it has allowed the British boat to have some clean water, being chased by South Africa. And then Hungary, the second crew of Hungarians coming in as we hear them cheering. Yeah, you see them in shot, still out on their own. Boba and Moses. Hungarians happy to see their crews up in the front, but this boat just losing contact earlier in the race.
So quite a scrappy portage from all three in the end, in that front
yeah,
group.
that wasn't ideal. And this is the next group of South Africa and Spain. Once they see that there's a Hungarian boat on their own, they'll hopefully be able to see if they can close it. So that's Stallard and Cole
together with
Alonso and Garcia from Spain.
Stallard, of course, also raced yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, and he had a great race.
Yeah.
He ended up coming in 4th. So they are coming in quite close there.
They've got, yeah. But then they end up
pushing their nose.
getting the wrong angle, don't they?
It's quite tricky, I think, with the K2 when you're trying to not push the nose forward, but there's tension. This is your leading group. They've all regrouped again.
And
the British boat of Short and Morgan in the front.
Our embarrassing portage time, though, 28 compared to your 22. We have to step this up.
Always love the comparisons. So sharp little turn here.
This time it's the Hungarians and get it pushed out a little bit there.
It'll be interesting to see which side they choose, because it'll affect the South African boat on the wash.
French K2,
but they've slowed it down.
A gel squeeze from the British boat there.
So this is good for all these crews. It means they're actually happy to work together.
Come on, somebody's got to go though. Somebody has to go.
Yes. The British boat saying no. Hungarians saying no, which leaves it to the South Africans.
So here we go.
They can't slow
down. This looked all very easy at this stage. This was going to be simple.
Yeah.
And the British boat running, possibly a little bit too deep for sure when he gets... Oh, we're not... Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, you could see the water was by his knees already.
So he just struggled to get in there. The South Africans are close. The Hungarians try and come inside them.
Yeah, and that kind of prevented all of them from paddling.
Nobody could leave. So just a bit messy.
Anyway, they've slowed it down a little bit. Everybody seems to be in control. At this stage of the race, with 2 portages down, they would want to work together, but they also need to be aware that there are boats behind them. But the Hungarians at this stage, second Hungarian boat, all on their own.
This is slower now.
But it does seem like all the crews behind them are also paddling in exactly the same way.
So lap 3 of 6. Budai and Langsy, I think, thought they'd have their teammates for company for the duration of this race. But they haven't. Instead, they've got Great Britain and South Africa.
Crews deciding to go on the right-hand side of the Finnish red boys.
Not sure why we have to go so close to that and rearrange the group shape just for the sake of that buoy.
Yeah. Almost want to take them out for the duration of the race and just plop them back in for the finish.
Yeah.
Obviously that's not possible with the logistics of putting boys down.
Paddles down again.
Looks like the South African crew is forcing another boat to pull.
Hungary are looking shaky here. They're not happy. And they thought they would be grinding into this with their teammates ahead of the field, and now they've got company they don't know. And I think
these crews have pushed the pace until this stage of the race.
It's going to have, I think Great Britain have got to do a bit more share, and I know that's against my religion, but I think they've got to keep the pace a little higher, because I think both the South Africans and the British are going to start to damage the Hungarians on the portage now.
So with 3 boats like this, they do need to keep their consistency. It's approximately 35, 36 seconds.
That chase doesn't look too meaningful.
No, it doesn't.
Compared to how it has been.
I would have thought that these 2 crews would be working together a little bit harder to catch the Hungarian crew, but they might have also felt like they worked quite hard with that group of 6.
I get the feeling the South Africans are keen to do that, but
they need to wait for the right moment for it.
And they need the right amount of help.
Yeah.
Czechs on their own now. Chovanec and Sindel just behind that pair of South Africa that we saw just now. That's boat 4. looking increasingly uncomfortable, especially that guy in the back. Just Moses looking like he's not having his favourite day.
It's always hard though when you're paddling on your own.
Yeah.
It's way more exciting when you have another boat to share the pulls with, and you can pull hard, ease off. But the intensity at the front of this race in the beginning was pretty high.
Sander van Oetwijnschik and Rita Smith.
So, I mean, looking into the future and assuming things stay like they're staying, who's going to stay in commentary when this is over?
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to take one
Shaw
for the
actually
team.
put his hand on the concrete there. They were taken quite close to the edge there.
I think at this stage, if you're coming in like that and you have an option to use the concrete instead of crashing or getting a little bit of assistance to turn, you'll take it.
I think now the real sting has been taken out of those Hungarians, that high-end top speed. So there's a lot more relaxation for the other two. You're not worried at any point that that's going to happen to you.
But I think also that portage rattled all of them now, that they weren't smooth. And when you have a smooth put in, you get the confidence. Whereas now all of them are going, well, besides Short and Morgan, because they were in the front, but then they also got caught up.
But they still didn't get in well.
Yeah, they got caught up. So I think for these crews now, they're recalculating their thoughts on how the race is going to pan out. So this is the second chasing group behind the fourth boat of Hungary from South Africa and Spain. Stallard and Cole.
Czechs look like they're having a little bit of an attempt to close the gap on these two, but the South Africans, when they lead, I think they stretch that gap again.
Yeah, they definitely have put in some more effort when they're in the front.
Actually, I'm curious as to whether this is faster than that K1 was going yesterday.
Yeah, that junior K1 race was pretty high end.
On Novacek. No, not Novacek. He's from Czech. We keep doing that, don't we? I can't remember his name now, which is incredibly rude. But
the AIN paddler.
Anyway, your guys have stopped wriggling around in their boat, haven't they?
Yeah, so hopefully the portage did work in it.
Did the thing, whatever the thing needed to be.
Shook their hips a little bit. Smith seemed like he had a stone on his seat.
And they've pulled the double backward cap.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
have. They mean business.
Yeah. Okay, around the top turn again.
So the South African crew.
Just
Smith
take
and Vogt in the
wide
lead.
now and then come in, maybe.
Actually, the K1s were doing that more yesterday. We even saw Pedersen from Denmark taking it wider in his K1, coming right up the bank and then cutting across. So if you're leading into this turn, you don't get affected as much, but it's definitely not so easy to turn.
We didn't get round that well.
No.
Luckily, I can't see that turn being very significant in the big picture.
No, it's further.
Are you guys running now?
Looks like a little bit of an interval in the front there.
Yeah.
But now they're
just
slowing
before.
again.
Oh, no.
Dear.
Oh no.
That's not,
oh no.
That's not good to see.
Just when we've been so positive about it.
Yeah, they need to just forget about that. It's hard though, but you need to, at this stage of the race, it is what it is. You got to work through it.
Oh, you feel for them though.
Yeah, so that's Vocht's dad on the bicycle. Yesterday he claimed he cycled 20 kilometers up and down, so we'll see what he cycles today. But super supportive dad there on the bank.
And with three boats in this chase group, the Czechs did catch up. They look like they had intent, but they've done well to catch up that quickly.
Yeah, they definitely have, and I think they'll be in a happier position now.
Might be that these two were going too slowly.
Yeah.
They did look slow when they came past us.
But that's the calmer part of the whole race course.
Then it's all happening back here. Two Argentinians, German, France and Spain.
Yeah.
But the Spanish crew has fallen back from the Czechs, so they're not going to be particularly helpful back there.
And with so many boats spread out like that, you'd want somebody to reform with somebody at least, so that there's two boats working
we need a
together.
head-on shot to see if we can see both African heads. Then you know it's bad. No, they look all right. They're still in line.
And they were paddling really well earlier when we did see them from the front, where it did look like one boat. The other camera angle is
giving us this.
It's to the side, and you can see half the boat. So sometimes you're feeling uncomfortable, but the boat still looks good, and at this stage, that's all we need. But it's not good for them now, because they don't want to fall off this group.
I don't think they're going to fall off, but it's just the discomfort, isn't it, of staying, and you just get irritated. It's strange because you kind of blame the other person, but you know it isn't their fault, and it's just just horrible.
I've seen these two boys working together. They'll just sort of shift around and
they'll
move.
Deal with it, will they?
I mean, they're in a great place in the race now, so you just need to work through any sort of discomfort until...
to survive one more lap, and then you're in towards the finishing bit, aren't you, really?
Yeah. And you don't want to fall off this group, because we've seen how the Hungarians drop back and haven't managed to catch up again. So you're wanting to fight through any little bit of discomfort and keep this group like it is as long as you possibly can. Bottom turn, coming back into the main stretch of the river. It's the British boat leading, the grey boat of South Africa on the inside, and the Hungarians on the other side. Short and Morgan from Great Britain, Smith and Vogt from South Africa, and the Hungarian crew of Lanchi and Budai. This is the second Hungarian boat of Gorba and Moses.
They've stayed away on their own, haven't they? But they're quite a long way behind now.
Yeah, they're only going around the bottom turn now.
Yeah, it's got to be nearly 40 seconds since we last saw our lot go around there. So it is these three. It has been for a while now. It was that portage, wasn't it, that dropped the second Hungarian crew. First portage, they struggled to get in their boat well. They ran well.
Yeah, they just put their boats in at a wrong angle.
Actually, these boats are closer to those Hungarians than the Hungarians were to the front group.
Yeah, they definitely are. This is being led by the Spanish crew of Alonso and Garcia, with Czechia's boat on the inside and the South African crew at the back of Stellar and Cole.
So here we come, heading in towards portage number 3.
So this will also be another critical one, just for them to iron out any mistakes from the last one. They need to get their confidence back.
It's been generally pretty scrappy. South Africans did a good first portage.
Yes, they did. It was just the put-in, I think, for all of these crews
on that last one.
None of them could actually get their paddles in any water. There's an interesting little wash off the concrete wall there.
This is a nice, comfortable pace. The British crew will be very happy. They can do that all day. So it's hard to see how anyone's going to close this group down. So I think we're down to our final 3. Bar an incident, they will stay together to the end.
So they're about to take out a couple strokes left to their third portage.
The first group has arrived.
Great Britain's out, South Africa's out, Hungary's out.
Short coming through for a drink.
So South
Morgan carries his
Africa.
whole drink with him. Matt Enoch doing a good job, and we still arrive at the water first. So Great Britain first, Hungary second, South Africa third. Same as no, not it was South Africa second last time.
Yeah, smooth in from South Africa. The Hungarians choosing to go wide this time, not wanting to get in any trouble.
A few runners along the bank there. Encouragement being shouted. To be fair, Short and Morgan have done the pull all the way from the island, so it's fair play that they should stop. Let the Hungarians. We haven't seen the Hungarians in the lead for quite a while.
No, they haven't. Compared to the first bit, they've definitely been sitting on a wash more. This is the second crew of Hungarians coming through, so they're going to go into the feeding zone.
Guy in the back of that boat looks proper tired to me.
Now, hopefully he recovers, because for them to hold this position will still be good. Gorbe and Moses currently lying 4th in this K2 junior race.
It's nice enough.
And here's the chasing group of 3. Czechia out, Spain out, South Africa out. That's Šobeník and Sindel from Czechia. Spanish boat of Alonso and Garcia, and South Africa's Stellard and Cole.
They've got a motivation. The Hungarians aren't far ahead of them now.
Yeah, I agree, actually.
And 4th place is a lot nicer than 5th, isn't it? 'Cause you feel like you're nearly there. And
we'll be able to see the gap now, actually, because these are leaders in shot now. We can see the Hungarian boat on their own, and then
the other turn,
and then the 3 after the put-in. And that's definitely a close gap between the chasing group and the Hungarian place in 4th.
23.
Nice.
We're
well done.
We're improving. We're 5 seconds better already.
That was a quick portage from Great Britain. Hungary coming in 2nd, and afterwards South Africa 3rd. Hungarians putting their pedals down.
They're tired.
Yeah.
They've done a really short lead.
This is interesting.
Now
These
they put
boys
their paddles down.
Yeah, they're forcing another crew to pull all the time, but
now they don't want to be the ones that drop round the back.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not looking invulnerable. I thought they were a nailed-on winner at the start of this, but that's not the case.
Yeah,
Argentina, France, sorry.
No, it's okay. It'll be interesting to see what goes on. But this portage is another group of 3 with 2 Argentinians and France. When we saw them coming around the island, they were struggling to form a group. So it's really good to see that now we have a group of 3 with 2 Argentinian boats. That will be Levey and Esperanza.
And there's all sorts of trouble getting in. They're up to their waist in the water there.
That's not ideal for the one boat, Lanzon and Troutman.
First Argentinians away. They're still too deep to get in. Spaniards have caught them up now.
And that was a German crew of Fink and Meerman putting in now. So both Argentinians really...
Oof.
That's not great for them.
Torrid time.
After being in the position that they were. And you can see now the gap that's formed on the left as we see the leaders coming past.
The Hungarians are doing their bit again. So we're just about to finish lap 4. The laps seem to be going by really slowly on this one. I think I just wanted to get to the end and see what happens. Short. The two crews on the watch having a chat and a laugh there. Not sure what about.
You'd almost think because of the English language that the South Africans and the British now are...
Feel like they're a team.
Yeah.
I think they do. I think it's them against the Hungarians. Alex Morgan's coach, Gabor, suggests where he might come from. He'll be torn because he'll want Alex to do well, but he's so Hungarophile. He can't help himself. He'll be wanting the Hungarians to do well as well.
So this is the second Hungarian crew coming past in front of the finish tower on the other side of the finishing boys, still out there on their own.
It's a smooth K2, that one, but the Europeans, they're away and clear on their own with their teammates this time.
So they're not really used to being in this position at this stage of the
No,
race.
I don't think they are. I think they're probably a little bit more stressed than the other two.
Yeah, but they're still holding on to their fourth place. The group in the front seeming like they really are always having to put their pedals down to change the lead. This is not really ideal.
It's a slow change each time.
You'd want them to be a little bit smoother, but they do have that gap, so it's not really going to affect them too much. But interesting now that they're coming down more of the center left of the river. Maybe they're choosing to have a wider turn so that they don't crash into the concrete wall.
So Vogton Smith leading at the moment. There's the chasers, Gorba and Moses from Hungary, in fourth place. And I think we might see that gap close a little on this lap because this front group is
Yeah,
they're kind of racing each other and not racing to get round.
Smith lifting up his knee there a little bit before he turns, which is not
But
great.
wasn't he doing that in his K1 yesterday as well? Oh no, that was Sallard.
Yeah, that was
wasn't
Sallard.
it doing that?
Yeah. Smith was in the short course and he finished fourth in his race on Thursday. So yeah, we have a little bit more urgency from the South Africans at a stage, and now they're hoping that the Spanish boat will do the same. Actually, it's the boat from Czechia.
Yeah.
That crew from Czechia putting in a little bit more of an effort. Chovanec and Sindel, they've been working hard. So we'll see if that gap closes between.
Yeah, so this Hungarian boat is definitely travelling faster than the front group, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, they are
But
smooth.
they've got a sense of urgency from seeing what's happening behind them, I think. They're trying to hold off that group behind, which is not too far away now.
There was a little bit of a shake-up on that portage, as we saw with the two Argentinians.
Yeah, I mean, the
having
next
a
group
clash.
was dreadful, weren't they, getting in? So there's a long, I mean, the gap behind this group is monster, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty big. But it's all about this three on the screen at the moment. Czechia's Sindel and Chovanec. If they can make a good lap now, they'll be catching up to the Hungarians, lying in fourth currently. So that's South Africa's Stellard and Cole taking up the lead. And the Spanish boat of Alonso and Garcia just making a little bit of a bad turn.
You can see the group of Czechia, Spain, and the Republic of South Africa. They are in the 5th, 6th, and 7th positions. And in the portage, the Ukrainian Prokopets and Ferdinand.
So we left you there for a quick technical discussion. Won't tell you about what. Here's the leaders.
Still a group of three.
That Hungarian boat in the background is fancying its chances, I think. It's got a lot more life in it now than it had a while ago.
Yeah, they've probably found like a better part, like paddling consistently as they were. They've been saving a little bit from the part where they were burnt off in the front, where they lost their energy, and now they've found it again.
We've got two more portages. Two more of these top turns.
So now the boys are actually coming in along this bank here. So hopefully by doing this, they'll go up a little bit more at that turn by the concrete, and they'll be able to make a better turn.
It's about 100 meters the difference between this and that chase Hungarian crew. Yeah, that was a bit smoother, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was definitely much better coming up along that bank. All three crews having a much better turn. They're not getting pushed into the opposite side of the river. Still pushes you a little bit, but that's normal.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks more comfortable for all of them. No one needing to pedal on one side twice.
comes boat 4 with Gorba and Moses. And those Hungarians are big boys. And I'm thinking those muscles are getting a bit tired now. I think that to fuel that lot is starting to become slightly more expensive. This is where your boys look so uncomfortable in this stretch, isn't it? Is it maybe shallow there?
Yeah, I'm not sure, and it is that maybe they find that that's the only place that they can shift if they need to.
Belgium in all sorts of trouble on the portage. Not sure when that was. That's obviously a replay.
Yeah. Sometimes some people get dead leg in their boat if they've changed a seat
He's
and it's
going to
not.
struggle to get in if he's got a dead leg.
Yeah, you can see there actually.
He can't get in with his dead leg,
yeah,
can he?
and then he falls out the other side. So that was a little bit unfortunate for them.
I guess that was going to happen though. He didn't have control of his legs, did he?
Yeah, and
even,
then
even on the run.
And then they needed to actually just slow it down when that happens. But perhaps he did say to his friend, "I got dead leg," but you don't know how it's going to affect you when you put your leg in. Short and Morgan from Great Britain leading around the island at this
They
stage.
look the tidiest of the three now, Short and Morgan.
Yeah, they're looking comfortable leading
But
in the front.
that gap is definitely closing.
Yeah, I think the Hungarians at the back have found a second wind,
and there's no motivation in this front group.
Yeah, they need to change something at this stage of the race because there's still 2 big laps to go and anything can happen still.
1.5 big laps, isn't it?
Or 1.5, yeah.
So I think once we are over this portage, then that's it, isn't it? You go round again and
then come back, yeah.
So it's a long way to go still, but not.
We can take a time check, and often when there's a gap of about 30 seconds, I think it's a bit.
It starts to look closable.
Yeah, but it needs to probably be around about 20 to see that you can actually close it. But it also depends on the urgency of the boats in the front, if they're keeping the pace or if they're slowing. So this is the chasing group with Czechia, South Africa, and we did see a Spanish boat in that group earlier.
So again, Great Britain are going to be leading when they come to the portage. They look like the boat with the most, I don't know, mojo at the moment. I think the Hungarians are going to rely on a big finish. South Africans, what are they going to rely on? Their last portage?
I think they will.
Yeah.
They are quick on their portage, and they have been quick in. I think it was just that clash of both.
It's just that little bit of discomfort. If it comes to a head-to-head 100 metres, that discomfort can pay.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Look, that's how close it is now. That's closable.
Yeah. That's definitely much closer than it was before. So this crew in the front really need to, I think, up their game a little bit, because you can see how the second Hungarian crew are putting their pedals in. They're hitting the water harder, they have more urgency at this stage, and they could pose a threat.
Yeah. And at this stage, you don't need the added confusion of another boat, I don't think.
Definitely not. These three have worked together nicely so far in the race. They've done the hard work, but it's not over until you cross the line. So as we see them come past the orange buoy, it's going to be approximately 100 meters, and they're going to come in for their fourth portage of the day. It's a K2 men's junior race, total of 21.8 kilometers.
So here we go. Penultimate portage. And that Hungarian boat behind is most definitely closing this gap.
Yeah, they have.
They're going to be back before the final portage.
Unless the crews in the front pick it up.
They're not going to. here we go. Hungarians are choosing to press on.
Coming past the British
And
boats.
that's quite scrappy. British boat are happy to let them do that.
South Africans coming around a little bit, seeing that they need to get right up there, make the change where necessary, so they can get out. Hungary out, South Africa out, Great Britain out.
Everyone's out and safe. So we could see maybe the Hungarians try and make a break in this one, if they get in well. Second Hungarian boat already on the portage. Short and Morgan running long, getting in. Not a great angle for them, not a great angle, but they are going to get out safely. And away go the Hungarians. Here's Hungary 2. The guy in the back still looking tired to me.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a stumble there.
And that gap is still quite big, actually, isn't it?
So I took a split at the takeout. It was 22 seconds. So it's smaller, but it's still
big.
Yeah.
And I think these two do not want them. That's sort of put firework into these two. That they're mates, or they're not mates.
Somebody possibly said something
yeah.
on the bank to them to say the gap is closing. You could see the change of urgency all of a sudden, especially in this takeout now.
So Lanxi and Budai, here come the Czechs and the South Africans.
They've dropped the Spanish boat.
Spaniards nowhere in sight now. So this is 5 and 6 at the moment.
Shabanek and Sindel from Czechia with Cole.
Hopefully the South Africans wanted a drink change because they were forced over there by the Czechs anyway.
It does look like they did. Stallard and Cole coming out there a little bit ahead of Sindel and Shabanek.
Yeah. The gel feed from the coaches, that's not an efficient thing.
No. When we do longer river races, you put a gel on your boat and you find a place somewhere in the race.
That's what Short and Morgan have done as well. They've got that. But yeah, to have somebody squeeze a gel into your face while you're running along just is not practical.
Yeah, it slows it down. So this is Spanish's Alonso and Garcia. Their pumps maybe not working so well. They've been dropped. They're on their own now. So they'll be lying in 7th.
We must be approaching the top turn with the front group as we watch the Spaniards come in here. Final time, of course, round that top turn.
They're just putting in within themselves to make sure that they do it smoothly.
All three around, and that gap's still too big to close in one lap.
Yeah, I think that little bit of urgency.
It's got bigger, hasn't it?
Yeah, the urgency we saw on the portage and the put-in afterwards by the Hungarians, I think somebody's tipped them off on the bank to say, if you don't pick it up now, you're going to get caught. And they don't want that. They've done all the hard work now, and so for a fourth boat to catch them, obviously for the fourth boat it's amazing, but for the crews that have worked hard from the start,
it's just an irritant.
Yeah,
really.
they want to guarantee that they're in the medals now. So on the screen showing the distance to the finish, just approximately 3.5 kilometers for these leading boats. This is day 4 of the 2025 ICF Canoe Marathon World Championships, our final day.
And so far going well for both of us.
Yeah, it's an exciting morning to start off with. The excitement in the crowd as from the Hungarians as they see the front group coming past on the far side.
So one more portage.
One more big lap and a short lap.
So we got 2 more portages.
No, this is...
That's going to go to lap 6 of 6 now. As they pass there.
So they've only done 4 portages at this stage.
Oh, we've got ourselves lost in commentary.
It's okay, we'll find ourselves again. I think it was just the screen that needed to reset.
So we're on our final
Big lap.
lap.
It's saying that they've paddled 18.9 kilometers. The
Yeah,
total
so
of
we
their...
got around 4K to go.
So yeah, so it said 3.5. So
yeah.
on screen
yeah, so
was
down
correct.
around the island, back up around the top turn, and we're finished.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up. One more portage. We did have it right. Coming to overtake Japanese crew. So what happens when you get lapped is that you just do your short lap along with these leaders. You don't get to do your last final long lap. Away goes Shorten Morgan with a bit of intent.
So this is the boat of Czechia and South Africa. Just changing the leads a little bit. So they were chasing down the 4th place boat of Hungary, who started to show a little bit more urgency. So I think that this gap might have grown a little bit more.
Ukraine coming in, drinks bag over the head.
Nice little changeover from their seconder. It's always tough. So when you have a K2, you only allowed 1 seconder per crew.
You can't do that.
It's almost better if he just puts it in his mouth and lets him keep running with it in his mouth, and then he takes it out later.
That was tidy from the Australians.
I'm quite sure that for these seconders in that feeding zone...
This is going to be interesting. Are you going to give him a fish?
Give me some
Oh,
water.
no, it's just water. This always works well.
Hitting of your lip on your tooth.
I got at least 2 drops of that.
Some in the eye. Second boat saying, I'm actually fine.
No, I don't need drowning, thanks. I'll save my own life.
It's great for the camera crew to show some replays of some of the other athletes coming through.
Not sure what we've got here. That's not the lead group.
That looks like the boat of Stallard and Cole from South Africa, which means that another group has reformed.
Oh no, it is the lead. It is the lead group. But it's the Japanese behind. That's why it should be a white boat, but it isn't. So
the angle of the sun
group.
and another boat affected us. So it's a good shot actually with having the drone footage. It just the glare changed the color of that boat for a second. Or it's our eyes.
Yeah. We're just rubbish. But we've refused to accept that. So Shorten Morgan paddles down, through go the South Africans.
So it's grey boat, red boat, white boat. These are definitely the leaders. The South African crew of Smith and Bach taking up the lead as they go around this island section for the last time today.
Late night, obviously. Did you decide on whether it was grapefruit or not in the shower? I bet you didn't even think about it, did you?
Actually, I did. And my decision, I did squeeze more and I smelt it properly.
Yeah.
It's lemon verbena.
What even is that?
So that is that strong citrusy smell. And it's often used in products like soap and stuff because it's such a strong. So there's a plant called the lemon verbena and they use that, the oil from it. So in my opinion, it's lemon verbena.
Okay, so I've been educated into the ways of shower gel. South Africans, that wasn't a very long pull.
No.
And now no one wants it. This plays to the Hungarians in the background.
It definitely does. These crews need to sort themselves out a little bit now just to make sure that they're secure. But at this stage of the race...
South Africans still leading, though. I mean, when you stop and no one takes it and you feel you have to take it again, you know it's slow.
Yeah, and I think because the Hungarians just also put their paddles down. It's a gap of 82 meters to the chasing crew of Hungarians, and we can see them putting in an interval now
they're
again.
Going again.
They're looking strong behind again.
They're just going to run out of time, though, aren't they?
Yeah, but they have put in a big effort now. They've noticed what's happening in the front, that every time there's a change of lead, the crews slow down. And now the gap to the next two boats.
I think the journey from the top of this island to that bottom turn could get quite hectic. I think there could be more than one crew wanting to get to the upstream.
This is a possibility. But these two crews really putting the power down.
They've gone narrow again.
Yeah, anyway, this is their last turn, so.
messy. That was very messy, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But at least we've done it now. Yeah, if these guys let that other group catch up, there is a danger that one of them could lose a medal.
100%. From here, the gap actually looks quite small.
Yeah,
but
it keeps changing. It looked long coming out of that top turn, the turn after the portage, but now they're shifting that back crew. I mean, if any one of these front three lost a medal because they caught up, they would be absolutely gutted.
I'm sure they will, but now that Hungarian crew is definitely putting urgency in, and if any one of these top three boats make a mistake on the portage, they're going to be vulnerable if that boat is close.
They could be caught by the portage, I think, at that rate.
They need to start changing now with more intent when they do change.
Well, they're all trying to rest, aren't they, for whatever's coming?
Yeah, well, they know what's coming, and I think that's why they're resting, but they need to race the race now for what it is.
I'm worrying for our crew here, because if the Hungarians get round that bottom turn first, they'll lead up the inside. We'll have to fall back to third. Your guys will be up the side. Oi, oi, oi.
Nervous.
We don't need this level of stress coming into the last bit, please.
Nervous times at the moment. Only 3 medals up for grabs in this K2 junior men's race.
Boys only 15 years old. And Sander van Utvanchik and Lucas Smith from Belgium.
Joey Enoch and Charlie Smith talking to the Great Britain guys there. They will be telling them what's happening behind them, I'm sure. But they already know what's happening. I mean, it's so close now.
It really is, and I'm quite sure that that gap is smaller now.
Yeah.
Now it looks a little bit bigger, so perhaps we don't need to be as stressed. We know that they're running out of time.
Yeah,
regardless.
Time is short, for sure. Once they're going upstream, and of course it all kicks off coming into the portage as well, so they're not going to be catching at that point.
It's creating an exciting race still up the front, where we definitely can't say that we've got 3 distinct winners at this stage, but we think we do. We'd like to think we do. But
right, who's leading? Yeah, it is the Hungarians. We are going to be pushed back to that third wash, and this is going to be tough. I'd far rather be where the South Africans are now than where we are.
Still 1,100 meters to go before they cross between the 2 red boys on the finish line. It's all happening here in Gyor, Hungary. We think the gap is less than 20 seconds now, but we're not 100% sure.
This has to kick off at some point, probably by the bridge, I would think.
It's made for an exciting race that we can't really predict who the gold, silver and bronze medalists are. The final portage is going to be an important one, as is the put-in.
So I reckon once we get to this bridge, things are going to start getting a little bit spicy. That second Hungarian crew is closing by the second at the moment. They've got nothing to lose, have they?
They definitely don't. They've been able to take out and put in easily without making any mistakes, so they've ironed out all of that.
Oh, come on. They're going to be right there by the portage, aren't they? 4 or 5 lengths.
But we know that once they put in, those are the boats that are clear, and then it's just to decide who's in which position. It's only if this Hungarian crew were to catch them before the portage that we think that there will be a problem. But once we see this orange buoy at that
They're
pontoon.
not going to catch by the
No.
portage now.
Then it's 100 meters until we see them at this takeout.
Hungarians will start to speed up around now.
It's going to be an exciting takeout. It's important for all three of these crews to get out smoothly
my word.
and
Here
put
we
in
go,
smoothly.
here we go. Hungary taking it on now. This is their effort for a win.
South Africa in the grey boat will be taking out second, with the red boat from Great Britain just behind.
It's going to be super hard. South Africa's just struggling to stay with the turner pace of the Hungarians. And why we've gone to look at the fourth place, I don't know. Here comes Hungary.
This is the urgency we were expecting. Hungary out.
They've done well.
South Africa out with a
not so
fumble.
well. Here come Hungary.
But this is your top three.
A paddle race from Hungary might be a bit premature, I think. The Great British crew will run long.
South Africa just on the inside, getting in.
Get in, get in.
All crews are nearly away.
Away we go. Game on. Hungary versus Great Britain versus South Africa.
This
South
is
Africans
exciting.
are third out from the portage at the moment. These guys are going to have no say in it. It's down to 3.
It's all happening here in Gyor, Hungary, with an exciting
South
finish
Africans
at
look
this
to be
stage.
struggling there.
Yeah.
And I don't think the motorboat helped them there with the motorboat waves.
They definitely had a wave
So
to
here
climb.
goes Hungary round the turn first. Great Britain just about with them, but position inside them. Position inside them.
At this stage, these are your medalists.
Don't look over. Come on. Hungary from Great Britain, from South Africa. South Africa, I don't think have got the power to. They've been here, haven't
Yeah, but they're still on the podium at this stage, I think.
they? Great Britain still can run to the back of that Hungarian boat.
Hungarians putting the power down.
Come on.
South Africans will accept the bronze medal, but it's still
Hungary
amazing.
powering on. That looks hard to catch.
Yeah, they've opened up that gap for sure.
Yeah.
Great Britain, knowing that they just need to hang on and they'll be in that silver position.
There's no one catching that today.
Yeah, too much power there.
So Hungary, Great Britain, South Africa.
Exciting start to day 4 of the ICF Canoe Marathon World Championships in Gyor, Hungary, and the crowd is going crazy.
Yes,
Yeah, your winners from Hungary. This is
Hungary, Great Britain will take that.
it's the crew of Lanchi and Budai.
I'm sure the South Africans will be happy with what they've done as well.
Short and Morgan from Great Britain and Bogdan Smith coming
They're
in
across the
third
line in third.
for South Africa. Short will be happy with that after yesterday.
And Morgan, so happy for him as well. He's had a great season, and that K2 has operated well beyond the component of parts all year. It's been a fantastic boat.
And there's the 4th place finishers chasing boat from Hungary.
Strong effort from them over the last 2 laps.
100%. That was a great race. Kobe and Moses.
Moses, he looked shaky early on, and he looks shattered now. Well,
So this time we were standing up without the sun in our face
I
with
know.
all the excitement.
What are we standing up for?
It was showing the
we
crowd.
are.
They can't see our excitement, but they can
It's,
hear it.
Brilliant race.
Lovely shot there of your winners. That's gold and silver from Hungary and Great Britain. Buddha and Lanchi. World champions.
And all done in a dress. I mean, he
Shorts and walking.
is the first ever dress-wearing medalist in the sport, I think.
So that's a great shot
Everyone
there.
happy. I feel for
all
your
3
guys.
of them.
Yeah, get that one. I feel for your guys. The boat was uncomfortable, wasn't it, for a lot of that race?
It definitely was. Little selfie of us working
Selfie
in the
commentary
background.
team. I can't say we didn't enjoy that one.
So that was exciting, I think, for everyone back home listening and watching as well. There's the Czechia crew coming through. They'll be 5th. They seem to have made a little bit of a break on the portage, which we didn't see, so they'll be the 5th boat.
Wow, how did they get that far ahead?
It was possibly the portage, and we didn't have them on screen.
Must have been a put-in problem or something.
So they're finishing 5th. Lanchi and
These guys put in a solid shift. They were the motivator in that chase group, weren't they?
Yeah, they definitely did. And they were working well with that boat from Czechia. So this is Stallard and Cole from South Africa. They'll be coming in 6th.
Well, a fun start to the day.
Most definitely. We have a few more races happening today still. Well, the K2 senior women, C2 men, and K2 men.
It's quite cold in here, though. I might go out to the sunny bit.
Yeah, I think the last 2 mornings it's become a little bit fresher. It is, I suppose, autumn in Europe.
Spaniards coming across the line. 175 Alonso and Garcia.
They had a great race in the beginning with a crew of 3 and then just falling short.
Acknowledgement of the crowd and themselves over the line.
So they'll be 7th.
Argentina next with Leva and Esparza.
They'll be happy with that.
They seem pretty happy with that, don't they? Yeah. Yeah. Top 10 maybe they were chasing. So they're in 8th place.
This is a boat from Germany.
Fink and Mieman.
Finishing 9th. And this will round up your top 10. The second boat from Argentina. Lanzon and Troutman. Top 10 in the K2 junior men's race here at the 2025 ICF Canoe Marathon World Championships.
So one of the lapped boats coming in now. It's the Japanese coming across the line.
But yeah, in shot, you have your bronze medalist from South Africa, your gold medalist from Hungary. All top 4 boats need to weigh, and then they come in for a small interview. Yeah, we're going to see big smiles from these junior boys. It was a big race for all of them at the top, with 3 all together for the whole way. And there's the British crew getting the silver medal.
So it always adds to the atmosphere when a Hungarian boat wins.
I think we even forgot about the final countdown.
There wasn't one, was there? Maybe that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
He was running through hoping to hear that, and it wasn't on.
Yeah, because we've always mentioned it in the past, and they ran through, and we got so excited, but I also didn't remember the music.
I don't remember hearing it.
There you can see the crowd. Everybody's out here for Sunday morning in Gyor, Hungary. The crowd support is incredible. Quite a few different flags from different countries as well. And there we have in front of us a French boat finishing Duron and Touchard. They'll be 11th.
I'm a little bit shaky after that.
Might need a little bit of sugar before the next race kicks off. We still have 3 more races for today before we end off this World Championships. replays on the screen at the moment while the winners have their interviews. Second Spanish boat of Renero and Martinez finishing now as we watch some of the highlights of the top groups and we listen to the interviews of the top three. We're coming back later today for the K2 Senior Women's Race at 11 o'clock. There's a medal ceremony in between, so we'll see you all later.
And the last portage for Prokopets and Fedina from the Ukraine and Jacob from Australia. And the Belgian Utvanchik and Smith. Julian Tan and King Hao Saman Ifram Putara from Singapore in the portage. And the last 500 meters are waiting for them.
Confirmation of the junior boys result there. Budai and Lanxi from Hungary first, Short and Morgan second from Great Britain, Smith and Vogt from South Africa third. Strong challenge in the last couple of laps from Moses and Gorba, but fourth nonetheless. Sindel and Chovanec from Czech, Stallard and Cole from South Africa, Alonso and Garcia from Spain. Esparza and Lever from Argentina, Miemann and Fink from Germany, and Troutman and Lanzan make up the top 10. 11 France, 12 Spain, 13 Singapore, 14 Slovakia, 15 Australia, 16 Ukraine, 17 Belgium, 18 Australia, then Singapore, and then Canada is your top 20. Much smaller fields this afternoon. Oh, sad to see. Didn't really highlight it on the way round. Didn't notice, but Candela pulled out again. He's been sick all weekend, and I know.
He was in that front group, but it did look like something went wrong, and he wasn't.
They were good enough,
happy,
and just fell off.